Hi, my name's Paul, and I'm going to talk to you about what I think should be done or what opportunities there are in Gainesville in terms of a venture. Now, Gainesville, we really have a lot here. We have a lot of really cool restaurants, a lot of cool coffee shops, and lots of interesting art like the Harn and the murals around 2nd Ave. And, Gainesville as a place is really just entirely very interesting. Now, for example, if you wanted to have a day thing in Gainesville, like a fun day, you could start your morning off by a jog through Payne's Prairie, and then you could go to Volta, the coffee shop, for a pour-over with beans from Ethiopia, and then you could go to Here Again, a record store downtown, purchase a repressing of a famous Dave Brubeck record, and then finish your day off at the Top, which is a really cool restaurant in town. Now, despite being prophesized as a super hip place, Gainesville is lacking something, and I think that's what needs to be addressed and what I would like to with a venture. Now, there was once a health group that worked on 2nd Ave that took up about 3 office spaces, and they've since gone. Now, what my idea is that we take any of those spaces, if not all of them, and turn them into a really interesting and trendy bookstore. Now, in terms of demographics that function, or that coffee shop or bookstores function well with, Gainesville really has it made for it. So, in my experience, universities with master programs and PhD programs, and especially ones with strong English, film, anything that really requires reading, tend to really help local bookstores. So a privately owned bookstore in Gainesville, I think, would be really good, and it would probably sustain itself for a very long time, if not indefinitely. Now, my experience in this comes from my past as living in Chicago. I've been around the University of Chicago quite a bit, so I know Hyde Park pretty well. And in that area, there are tons of little bookstores that have maintained for a very long time and are very popular. I'm also more recently from Tampa, Florida, and we have a really popular bookstore called Mojo's, which is right by USF. Now, my reasoning behind a bookstore in Gainesville is because, take Mojo, for example, which is a bookstore that's essentially in a suburb of Tampa. Now, Gainesville is a lot like a suburb in terms of demographics, but USF does not have a large population living on campus. It's essentially a commuter school. Now, UF, I would say that maybe 80% of the students live 3 miles away from the campus at most, maybe 10, but that's really pushing it. So Gainesville, and especially downtown Gainesville, really has the makeup of a possible really strong and cool bookstore. Now, it would take some work, and it would probably be a slow process, but it's in my mind that Gainesville could have a really interesting and cool bookstore that would become a Gainesville establishment. Thank you.